and not to talk privately and then to record, because people really love this real connection, this real conversation, this real talks. Because what's happened is something private happening in life of the teachers, and then they go and step on a stage or sit on a throne or a stool in a circle, and it's a different mind state, and it projects some kind of an image of a teacher into the world, which in one way it can be helpful, but in another way it's really an obstacle for our own development, because we constantly compare, and what we compare is basically mind state of a seeker. Like I came for example, I came to the satsang, and I sit there, and I am in a role of a seeker. I am in a role of a spiritual aspirant, and I sit there and I look at the teacher, and I see the role of a teacher, and they are in a different mind state than they were at home cooking eggs, you know what I mean? Or drinking coffee and communicating with their spouse and so on, with their children. And what if their children are in trouble, so unruly children? It all affects mind state. But then they come and sit in a satsang in an expanded mind state, different mind state, and that creates a projection that these teachers are so in this mind state all the time, which is absolutely it's an illusion. It's not true. It's not true. Of course, there is a levels of development, but also it's all fluctuates too. And that's why I wanted us to start right away to talk, because it's a real conversation. And I just wanted to say that it's very important for us spiritual aspirants, spiritual seekers, to understand that there is different mind states, and they are changing all the time. It's impermanence. It's constantly changing the mind states. And so the teachers are as well in the same impermanence, constantly changing mind state. While you're in the body, with the senses, with the mind, it's always changing mind states. They may be more aware about this. They may be more conscious, but it's the same impermanence working on everyone. So that's why I wrote a book and I talk in my videos, because it feels like my aim here. And sometimes I exaggerate it more than probably because I want to bring sort of a balance, you know. There is a lot of admiration of the teachers, and comparing yourself to the teachers, comparing yourself to those who are experienced, to those who evolved, or whatever you call it. That comparison is very detrimental. Is very much like an obstacle. So I exaggerate from my side for this very purpose. So it's kind of like hit you like, wait a second, we are all here. It's impermanence. It's playing these roles with these characters here, and they're in a role of a teacher. I'm in a role of a spiritual student, aspirant, meditator right now. I just want to show that side. So it will be more respect and love and dignity in your own life, in your own being. You know what I mean? I want to return that attention from being so focused on the others, even the biggest, to your own, because we are our own. We can, our being contain everything basically. We just think the mind have this idea that we are lacking something. That's why we look outside. And it's good to look, it's okay that I continue to talk?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. It's okay that, that we look outside and learn something. Because we learn in school math, right? We don't know math. We go and listen to a teacher on the, we don't follow math teacher the whole life, right? We don't. We take something from them in school, we learn, we incorporate, and we go live our life. So the way I point constantly is, yes, go learn something, just like from a math teacher or an English language teacher. Learn something from the teacher of spirituality in any tradition. Then release it. Release, go into life. You incorporate this by living it. Not by constantly following, not by constantly putting yourself in a role of a spiritual seeker. That will kind of like condition your mind for that identity of a spiritual seeker. And then you are locked in. You're locked into the identity. And that is separation. That is separation from what you're looking for is not an identity. What you're looking for is a naturalness, is fundamental well-being, which is limited by all these mind's identities. And a spiritual seeker is one of the identity. As long as you're in these roles and identities so strongly identified, it's sort of like you're looking for something that is not available for you at that moment. Yeah. Because you are locked yourself into specific structure. You already limited yourself.